Good morning, good morning, good Monday morning. Yes, yes. We tapping in live. Okay, we is tapping in live. Monday morning, the day after Easter. Wake up out there, wake up. Yeah, we up, we up. How y'all doing out there? Yes, on this wake up Monday morning, the fresh start of the week, the fresh start of a new beginning, right? Every day you wake up, you have a new beginning. Look at this, growth mindset. Yes, always be willing to grow within inside of your mind. Always be willing to grow inside of your heart. Yes, that's what the spirit of living is about. The spirit of living is about growing yourself. As you get older, you're supposed to not only get older in age, not only get older in your shoe size and your clothes size, you're supposed to get wiser in the mind. Yeah, yes. We finna do some real deep thinking this morning. We only got 30 minutes, right? But we finna get into some real conversation this morning. I want to say thank you when you get a chance to check out these videos. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Mr. RC Community TV. All right? I really appreciate y'all. Y'all out there, y'all rock. For the people that subscribe to this channel. Okay, stay tuned. We're gonna get to the show right now. How was y'all weekend out there? How was y'all Easter weekend? Yes, yes. I hope you spent it with your family, with your loved ones. I hope you spent it pouring out love, showing respect. I hope you spent your Easter weekend showing mad care to your family and your loved ones. 2026, these time and days, we're really gonna need all the love, all the support, all the care. We're gonna need that going into the future. I don't know if you guys realize that or not. That's why I bring my stories, I bring my heartfelt stories to this channel right here. Because we need to get back to loving and respecting the family that you was born in, the family that loves you. You know, we need to get back into really respecting those things. And today on this channel, we're gonna have a conversation about the upbringing of people's lives, okay? The upbringing of the family unit, the upbringing of our kids. Today's message is going to be about showing the people out there how If you put a lot inside of yourself, if you put love and care inside yourself and display that in your household, display it to your kids, display it to the people you love in your household, when people as a family unit work together, you be ready for this world. You be ready for uh, the distractions, the shenanigans of the world. And as a family unit, we all want our families to be strong, tough, to be able to stand in this mad society that we have out here, right? It all starts in the household. And today, this morning, we're going to talk about that, okay? So stay tuned. I appreciate y'all. This is the hard talks that a lot of people don't want to have these days. But let's get it.
Sometimes God doesn't calm the storm because the storm was never the problem. Sometimes he lets it rage so he can calm you. That situation wasn't meant to break you, it was meant to build you. See, everybody wants peace, everybody wants clarity, but nobody wants the pain that produces it. But growth don't happen in comfort. Strength don't show up in silence. The storm revealed who you were, but it also revealed who you're not. And that's the gift. The storm stripped the lies. It exposed the weaknesses. It tore away everything fake so God can show you what's real. So don't pray it away too soon. Let it do its work. Let it shape you. Because storms don't destroy purpose, they reveal it. And on the other side of this, you won't just survive. You'll stand different, walk different, believe different. Because when you've been through real pain, you speak with real power. That's why he let it hit you. It was never about the storm, it was about what it woke up inside you.
Yes, you guys, that was the first January 1st, 2026. That's how I bring in my new year 2026. And that's how it's gonna be the whole 2026. This is gonna be a new challenge, a new excitement. I'm gonna bring new love to this 2026 world. And here on this channel, that's what we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate people trying to commit themselves to change, trying to commit themselves to understanding themselves. Okay, here what we have here on the screen, uh, a lovely, beautiful young lady. I don't quite know her name. All I can tell you is I be subscribed to these positive, uplifting channels, and uh, they bring on guests, right? I don't be quite knowing the names of it, okay? But I just love good, powerful information, okay? Now, this young lady, she's going to be talking about this, the second video that I saw of her. The first time I saw this video, the first thing I saw was, I was like, wow. I was so intrigued on how much confidence she had in herself, her belief within inside of her family beliefs. Like I told you guys, I've been cool with a lot of people uh, in different, like in different cultures. And one thing I have to say, different cultures have a certain amount of respect, a certain amount of love for their culture, something that Black Americans do not have. We don't have that love for our culture, for our family. Partially, sort of the reason is because, of course, how they had us in bondage and slavery. Okay, we get all of that, right? But the thing of this is basically, why do we keep learning and falling for the banana in the tailpipe, the distractions? Why is it so hard for the Black culture to really get strong within the Black family, within our Black kids? Why is it only our Black kids that's really struggling and having a hard time with loving each other, with basically having a strong family presence and a dynamic. Why is it only our culture? So when I saw this young lady, the first thing I was like, man, this young lady, I need to like put this young lady on the screen, let my daughter listen to her, because I always wanted the best um, for my kids, right? I always wanted the best education. I wanted the best uh, family structure. I wanted the best character for them. I didn't want them to have not now, okay? I didn't want them to have not now character flaw. You hear me? So I'm gonna tell you, that was my job. That was my wish, okay? Not to have not now character flaw. And if you do, because no one's perfect, if you do have a character flaw, man, you got to tighten that up real quick. Okay. We not leaving out this house until we get you as a man, until we get you as a kid really understanding who you is, son, who you is, daughter, what you stand for, son, what you stand for, daughter, okay, and what you don't stand for. Now, the world may look at you at this, like this, but you have to show up like that. Okay. This is what I preach. This is what I practice. This is what I've always wanted the best for my kids. And I want the best like this for the world. So when I heard this young lady speak, it really, really touched me in the heart, because it always starts in the home. Okay. You can tell how your home life is by how your kids is. Okay. Now, even though they go off to these schools, which she's going to show you was homeschool. It was two things I took from this second video, right? She was homeschooled, and the second thing I took was her mama taught her. Mm, that was big. So that means if her mother can teach her how to be this positive, if her mother can teach her how to be this awareness of life, this type of awareness of herself, if her mother taught her this, right, that means mothers out here in the world can teach our kids better self respect, better self within self, better of knowing knowledge within self. Not like these time of days, either you have a kid that have attitude issues, or you have a kid that's really spoiled to certain things in life, feel like they got to have everything, or you have kids that just have their nose stuck up in the air. We are not teaching our kids how to be self-awareness of thyself, and very loving and self-awareness to others. We're not teaching our kids that. So that's what this channel here is about. Okay. Okay, enough of my mouth. Let's get her to it, because I got two things I want to put up here before. Now this just going to be a quick little live, and when I get back on here, maybe today or tomorrow, we're going to finish it up. It's going to be a part two, because we're not going to be able to get to it all right now. So let's get to this real quick.
Struggled like fitting in, but then my mom would always remind me that you don't have to fit in. You're a young African woman. We're in an oppressed society, and the only thing that I really want for you is to.
Okay, it's just a little short clip, but let's listen to this real quick.
Then my mom would always remind me that you don't have to fit in. You're a young African woman. We're in an oppressed society, and the only thing that I really want for you is to be yourself authentically.
How do you have faith being a part of a generation that struggles with faith?
That is a very, very good question. I think my generation, we are also a generation that we want to do things differently. And we also have, I think, a tendency, this is my critique on my generation, is that we have a tendency of mixing a lot of things. Just taking things from this spiritual system and this religion and taking what they like and recreating something, which I always get very confused about, because I feel like when you're grounded in something, you can be even more aligned and go even further. So it is hard, like in the times that we're living in, with all the social media, of the things that you're hearing that's going on in the world. It's very overwhelming for us as well. But I think that, again, when you are centered in an African reality, when you're centered in your culture,
when you are centered, when you are grounded with love, with respect, with accountability, when all of these things is being done in a household, this is the product that we put out here in the world. Now, this is a great product, okay? Well, I'm not looking at her as a product, but I'm saying this is what you want to represent the community out here.
it really helps you keep that balance amidst everything that's going on. So I think African culture and being centered in it has saved me from a lot.
And you grew up privileged. I'm not saying economically, but because of access to your mother and information, right?
Yeah.
So, do you believe that your experience is kind of unique compared to another person who wasn't exposed to that level of teaching?
So I think, yes, I definitely felt that growing up, because I was homeschooled as well. That I did feel like I didn't belong, like, for a very long time in my life. Like, it's like I'm talking about Frantz Fanon at 12, 13, and like, this is not the topics that my peers are talking about, and the negritude and all these different concepts that I was exposed to early on in life. So I always kind of struggled, like, fitting in, but then my mom would always remind me that you don't have to fit in this society. You're a young African woman, and we're in an oppressed society, and the only thing that I really want for you is to be yourself authentically. And when you be yourself, when you are yourself, you inspire others. And when you are consistent in what you do, even if people have their judgments on
The
what you
respect
do,
is there.
yeah, the respect is there because you're consistent. You don't falter. You don't change. Like, one day you're saying this, and then 2 weeks later you're doing something completely different. So
Message. Okay, okay.
I think that, again, being grounded in that is a unique experience. And then growing up, thankfully, I met other people who are conscious and are in this return back to home, to Africa, the motherland. So collaborating with them has been really, really cool.
Shout out to that guy channel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Being grounded in your faith, being grounded in your beliefs, your home unit beliefs. That's what life is about, you guys. That's what we're not out here uh, teaching or representing. We're not representing the right cause and effect to life. So that is what this channel is about. This channel is about just bringing awareness and shining a light to certain things that be happening around us or in our circle. So people can have, sometimes you can't look. Sometimes it's hard for you to see exactly what's going on if a person don't.
And he came to me at a very vulnerable.
if a person never brings you, uh, if a person never brings this up, you would never even understand. Now, this is a young lady right here. Some people may know her, some people don't. But this is the young lady right here that wrote a book back in 1990 about understanding the black woman, the black system, for the black family to really, really work. This was back in 1990. Tell me why the same issues, the same struggles, the same situations that's happening in today's 2026 black families. It was happening, and she saw it and wrote a book about it in the 1990s. So this just shows you guys how long black family has been under attack and has been lost in actually the love of the family for the family unit. Now, don't get me wrong, you guys. I didn't know, I'll tell you this, I didn't know a lot of this stuff either until I really started paying attention. And I wanted something better for myself, right? And my family. Once I started doing that, it started making me pay attention. Okay, now let's listen a little bit. We have 10 minutes. Let's listen a little bit to Sister Ali. So let's listen to her. That she literally put this map out 30, 40 years ago. And you guys, it's still showing up in the black family life right now today. Can we ask ourselves why? Even if we just take a look at it and see why is this still happening in the black family right now today? Because we all got kids out here. I know we don't want to keep, I know I don't want to keep seeing black families be torn apart over little things that if we had knowledge or if we had the right information, it can make black family households more better. For that matter, all households a lot better. Let me get this echo out of here. I'm tired of seeing families torn apart for the lack of knowledge that they refuse to believe. Okay, let's let Sister Shahara Ali. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Beautiful lady. She's a living legend. She's still out here right now today giving these same speeches. Okay, now let's listen for a second. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we got 8 minutes.
I would take the microscope and show people how you can't kill the trichina worm in pork by cooking it. Heat was not destroying the worm, and I would show them, the difference, and demonstrate how FDA was now using radiation to try to kill the worms in pork because cooking was not working, which is what we had always been told. And during that time, a lot of black men were in agreement to get off eating pork. They wanted to change their eating habits. And they were happy to find out some information that might possibly save their lives. But it was black women who were the most adamant, who refused to change meal planning techniques, seasoning food, cooking techniques. And so I said, it's interesting. I said, if we are refusing to provide the black man with the proper physical food when we know that food is what sustains life, then what else are we withholding from him? Possibly there are some other areas, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, that we are affecting his behavior by what we do or what we withhold and refuse to give. And that led me to try to find out. We've always heard that the black man leaves the black family, abandons his woman and children, won't take care of the children, won't work, stays out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. We've heard a lot of negative things. Most of them are true. But I wanted to find out what happens before he gets to that point. What leads up to the breakdown? We've never gone.
All of those are true statements. We already know about some of the guys out here. So I don't know why we always be stuck on talking about something that we already know that I wouldn't say the vast majority, but it is a lot of guys, okay? But we already know that. But we never get to the other things about what's really the cause and the effect. Let's listen.
On back to try to find out what happens in the relationship between the black man and a black woman that makes him go off and do all of these bad things. To assume that this is just normal, natural behavior for black men would be to assume that he is naturally bad. And I do not believe that the man that God gave to us as a mate is a naturally bad person. And so I wanted to try to examine what goes on with him. What's his side of the story?
Did
We've
a
never
black
examined.
man ask you to write this book?
Oh, no, certainly not. I think they were just as surprised as black women. Many of them approached the title of the book with a little apprehension because they have not had a champion. We have never had a black woman who actually stood up and said, I'm standing up for the black man's side of the story. We know what our side is, and both sides are true. We have done some very dreadful things to each other. And I don't exonerate black men, which is kind of a misconception that people have. I just say that we know his side. What about our side? And we do have a side. We have adopted some wrong standards. We are judging our men many times by the wrong value system. We are using his children sometimes against him. We have been told that the only benefit that a black man provides in a home is money, and if he does not give us money to take care of those kinds of financial provisions, that he has no value. And what my research has proven to me is that a black man, any man in any home provides much more than financial support. The man provides guidance, instruction, discipline for the children, which we sorely need in our black homes. He provides gratification, fulfillment, protection. I mean, there's so many other values, and these values are the ones that are missing in our children today.
All facts. You see what's happening out here, the destruction of our little kids, of our kids. Why is that? Because the man has been silenced by a lot of things. All facts, what she are saying.
Which is why many black children are in the street, out of control themselves, disrespectful, don't have any regard for anyone. And most of us are scared of them, and everybody else is, because nobody has a way into them to try to gain any control over them. So I maintain that a return to traditional family values, certain clearly defined gender responsibilities for black men and black women in running a home and a relationship will help us to produce a better child. And if we produce a better child, certainly we'll have a better future and a better nation.
And saying all of this, and as calling yourself a champion and having, if I may say, the courage to write this book and stand by it, you've caused a stir. This book is very controversial. What are you hearing from public reaction?
Well, I don't think that it's an issue among black women about whether or not the book is true or not. The issue is that I was not supposed to tell. These are inside secrets and things that we have never let our men know about. And many times what is that we say? He can't handle me. Well, many times he can't handle us because he doesn't know what it is he's trying to handle. He doesn't understand what motivates us. We have become very adept, many of us, at being able to do something right in front of his eyes and then convince him that that's not what he really saw at all and that it didn't happen. And so we've kept him kind of confused.
Excuse me, do you realize that there are many bookstores, and in particular black bookstores, that have refused to carry the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman?
I think that that's been overblown. Right now, the book is carried in over 5,000 bookstores here in this country and about 2,000 abroad. The book is becoming a bestseller in London. And to date, we only know of 2 bookstores in the entire country who refuse to carry the book.
May I tell you that there is at least one in Tallahassee?
There may be, but
and
they're lost if they're doing that.
The response we got from that book owner was that your book had nothing, absolutely nothing constructive.
Was that a woman who gave you those comments?
Yes, it was.
Oh, how surprising. Okay.
Let's talk about some of the things that seem to be upsetting people, or that people are talking
there
about.
certainly have been a lot of things taken out of context. Anyone who's ever looked at me or seen, witnessed some of the talk shows, they actually exploit a lot of issues. They take them out of context. They want to sensationalize them to build up their ratings to have a good show. So I really appreciate this opportunity to just sit down and have a fireside chat about the book.
Well, I'm glad
without
you're here.
all the fireworks and everything.
You say black women, and I quote you as saying, nag, nag, nag,
Yes,
and that
we
we
do.
are essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing
A
so.
lot of times we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much, and we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as black women that a successful relationship and one where we're happy is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side.
Let me give that side according
they
to
have a
Scheherazade
side.
Ali, okay? You say in your book,
Okay, let's
and
get
I'm
to it.
quoting you,
Come on.
okay? The black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true.
This situation does not exist anyplace else among the billions of people inhabiting our planet except here in America.
That's right.
The other black men, the yellow men, the red men, the brown men, and the white men are all honored and respected by their respective nations. All other women recognize and accept that the man is the authority, the ruler, and the leader. Only here in the United States, in the black nation, scattered throughout the United States, is the black man neglected.
And it's absolutely true. We have been displaced. Us don't really understand what slavery actually did to us and how much psychological trauma it did to us regarding what our proper roles are with each other, what our responsibilities are as man and woman in our various communities and relationships. We have never been debriefed from slavery. Not really. We have just, we know we had that history, but we don't know how it affected us. We don't know how much of our actual culture we lost, how much of our ideas were taken from us. We know that our religion was taken from us. We know that our names were taken from us, but we don't know how many other standards of day-to-day life have been removed. And while we have adopted the American way of doing things, they have not worked for us because we have a very special situation. We are not the same as everyone else. And a lot of the people who want us to pretend that slavery didn't exist or to forget about it, they've never been a slave. So they don't know what we're going through. They don't know what this has done to us. It has made us as black women insecure.
Why not?
All facts. You hear me? And nobody want to have these hard conversations about stuff like this. And that's what's really affecting our culture, because nobody is willing to speak about the real uncomfortable truths about where we are, what we think about, why is that, and what is going to take for us to really look at this and get past this, so you can have a better future within our kids' systems. We have to have these tough conversations. We have to have accountability from the man and woman about these things. You heard what she said at the beginning. A lot of women, black women, is mad at her for even speaking on this because they wanted it to be quiet, right? Why did they want it to be quiet? That's something we got to ask ourselves, right? But I know you guys out there, I'm not the only one, right? I had aunties, right, that really wanted to keep the woman view of things quiet as well, so they can run the household and run over the man. But you have to realize this: once a woman decides that is what she wants in her household, all you doing is making the kids suffer because they're not going to understand the dynamics of the man and the woman. I've had aunties that was like this, and it really destroyed their family unit because the woman wanted to keep secrets, right? Keep things quiet so she can run the whole family. But what you don't understand, when that is the case, the woman is not supposed to lead. It's supposed to be the man, right? We have the ability to see all the wolves. We have the ability to see all the distractions, right? We have the ability to stand strong against all the forces that's out there. And these people that run the world, they know that. That's why the whole trick is to make the man be less and less and less. So the strongness of the family unit can be compromised. If you have a not so sure strong man beside you, your life always going to be compromised. On that note, I'm out of here. We're going to have a part two to this, okay? We're going to have a part two to this because I want to get down to the meat and potatoes, okay, about this thing here called life. I was unfortunate enough to save my family and save myself from the destructions of life, okay? I was fortunate enough to do that. So I'm blessed enough to have an outlet to put my heart and my voice here on this channel to just speak words, right? Out there. Maybe it could touch somebody. I don't know. Okay. But like I say, this here is therapy for me. And I find it like I'm giving something back from the life that I led before now. Okay. I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy your Monday work week. And I'll be back on here with a part two to this. Okay. Peace, love, joy, and definitely positivity. I thank y'all when y'all get a chance to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, Mr. RC Community TV Show. All right, I'll catch y'all in a minute. We'll be back for part two. Peace.